Welcome to the channel. These are the types of videos that I love making. However, for this one, not so much because it touches on a touchy subject. Talks about African culture, which I'm clearly not of. So for me to be giving my opinion on it, I gotta be a little bit careful not to offend some people. But I do want to share my blunt thoughts right off the hop. It's fucking ridiculous that the IWC, the internet wrestling community, are shitting on Giulia, a Japanese wrestling superstar, part of the WWE brand, for having braids. Now, let's talk about, for a moment, the historical significance of braids and why some black people could be upset / offended. And if I could help one person understand why African people could be upset, then I feel like I've done my job, because I can sympathize with why they could be feeling the way that they do. Obviously, I can't relate. I'm the complete polar opposite of black and with hair, right? So in many African tribes, braid patterns and hairstyles were an indication of a person's tribe, age, marital status, wealth, power, and religion. Braiding was and is a social art. During slavery, braids at times functioned as a map depicting escape routes for slaves. That's like huge. So there's like cultural, historical significance here. Black people are often told they can't have braids, whether it's at school or at work, because it either looks unprofessional or unkept. But when a white person does it, like Kim Kardashian, all of a sudden it's fashionable, it's trendy, it's hip. And that's where black people have a problem. And I could totally see why they would have a problem. It's like, hello, we made that shit. We can't even fucking display our own creation. I can totally 100,000% side with them as to why they're unhappy. Now, on the flip side, this is where the lines get blurred. People will say, well, what about Viking braids? Viking, white people, we came up with that shit before they did. Now it's like a back and forth. Now we're fucking arguing about who came out with it first. Viking braids do look different. Different-ish. When you look at the Viking braids, they just have that look to it. You know what I mean? But it's still braids. Okay? And the real part that gets me is this. For example, this girl, she'd probably be off the hook. Because this looks like that girl from that video game there. I forget what it's called. Anyhow. The braids, they're kind of looser. Not all of her hair is braided. Some of it, most of it, not all of it. But if a girl does this, well, I don't know. That's not looking as fluffy. And your braids aren't as loose as in that picture. They're looking a little too tight. It goes from nice hair, girl, to use a racist bitch. It's like, holy fucking hell. And that's the part that I'm just like rolling my eyes at. Growing up, I had long hair. I had long blonde hair. And just like Dexter Holland, the singer of Offspring, you probably don't know who that is if you're under the age of like 35, or maybe you do. He had braids. Nobody ever said shit about his hair. I thought it looked cool. And so I tried it once. I went to school with it. No one gave a fuck about my hair. And I think that's another thing about life too that I hate, is it could be okay to say and do things for the longest time. And then you wake up one day and you're just so used to saying and doing a certain thing wholeheartedly, legitimately, with a good soul and conscience and a good heart, truly feeling like what you're doing is not incorrect. And then all of a sudden you are fucking crucified for doing or saying said things. So it'd be frustrating. I totally understand, like, as a whole, society needs to do better. I can totally agree with that. But I feel like in the last several years, society has actually gone backwards. And the harder we try to correct people, the more we're just fucking pissing them off and pushing them away from the very thing that you're trying to get them not to do. And it's backfiring. Right? So, yeah, like, I mean, fuck, man. So if she shaved her head on the sides, the braids were a bit, you know, fluffier. then all of a sudden it's okay. It's fucking wild. Again, I get the argument. I really do. I totally get the whole, hey, how come they can do it, I can't? And that is totally unfair, because I know that for a fact. I've seen it before with like hidden footage of people going in, and like some white guy had some braids and he was fine, but then this like black girl had very similar braids in her hair, and the teacher told her to get out and go back home if she was unwilling to change her hair. And I was just like, wow, like that shit really fucking does happen, right? I'd be pissed off too, not at the person, sporting the braids. So yeah, I really do feel though, like I feel like I have to be very cautious with how I word things here, not to upset anybody, because I get it. When it comes to touchy stuff, I don't want to make anybody upset. I do think it's ridiculous that we're getting upset with her. We don't know whether or not she's given acknowledgement and credit to her inspiration for her hairstyle. We don't know. And apparently when you do that, it makes it okay. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit confused on the whole thing. Really. Like, just, wow. Again, wrestling news, a little bit more of a racial, political, divisive kind of conversation. But it has to do with wrestling. It has to do with people legitimately pissed off. Like, I mean, over hair. Again, not downplaying what I spoke about in the beginning. I think it's important to take that into consideration. And if we understand something, anything that you're discussing, if you just understand where a person comes from, even if you don't agree with them, at least you see where they're coming from, and you can better understand, literally, why they're saying and lashing out or feeling offended by something. You can at least go, oh, okay. Yeah, all right. You know what I mean? And that was kind of my point here today, is hoping to shed some light on this, but at the same time, be very blunt and say that the overall hate that she's getting, I think somebody even mentioned somebody should just go up to her and cut her hair. Like, it's just fucking ridiculous. Like, give it up already. It's gone too far. I almost smacked my microphone. It's gone too far both ways. We got to find a happy medium in the middle. And unfortunately, I don't think we're ever going to get there, especially at the way society is not evolving over the last 10, 15 years. We were in a better place, at least I think, some 20, 25 years ago. I really do. So yeah, thumbs up if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. Thumbs down if you didn't like it. You know the drill. I'll bend it in half, twist it. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, naturally, that would be great. But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And you know what? Honestly, let me know down below. Be civil, though, because like I said, with YouTube and me legitimately liking to think that I'm a decent person, this can be a sensitive subject matter for some people. So I want to respect how they feel and not just judge and be like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like some person did here, really quick. You know, like one said, oh, if you're mad, this is for you. And then they're just like, fuck you. Then I wrote, because people do cry about everything and will say it's racist. Because they styled her hair. It's culturally unique to us. We don't like it. And I'm not going to go back and forth about this fact. Laughing my ass off. Weirdo behavior. Then another person called that girl the N-word. And I'm just like, oh my God. This whole thing just went spiraling out of control. Can't even have a discussion about hair without having to go down that road. Society is doomed. Take care. Hope you have a great day. Bye for now.